people? Must be doing fine. I know that already. So people, in the last part, we were learning about all the steps. So we ultimately finished it up to the cropping pattern that we have to follow for having a proper growth of the plant. In today's part, we are going to do further steps. So what we have done so far? Sowing the crop. I mean, firstly, we did the plowing, leveling, then we saw the crop, and then we are taking care of the crop. Again, I am reminding you this, that you have to imagine you are a farmer and just follow the steps. Up to this step, we have done all the following. We have provided all the manure and fertilizer which is required to the plant. Now, what is done further? Let's start that out. Let me just share my screen, guys, and then we continue. Yeah, so I have already added it up on the screen, guys, what we are going to cover up there. Okay. So basically, after the, let me just change the pen color. Yeah, it's already there. Okay, so after the point that I was saying that manure fertilizer, we are adding what we have to follow. We have to water the plant. So irrigation is done. And after that, crop protection, because you are a farmer, you are a gardener, you have sown the crop, you have provided all the water and nutrient to the plant. Now you have to take care of them against all the possible problem, threat that can be there. Now you will be cutting the crop, you will be storing it up. Green revolution is an additional topic that I'm going to cover today. So these are the things we are going to cover. So let's start. So the first thing that I was saying is irrigation. You know, guys, irrigation is just giving water to the plant. How to water the plant? We should give water to the plant in a proper way. There are different methods that we have to follow. Let's learn that first. First of all, suppose I am going to give water to the plant. That depends upon number of factors. The variety of the crop, like rice crop, needs a lot of water. The type of soil, the desert crop, anyone it would be there will be requiring less. And then type of soil, if it is in India, if I talk about the soil which is present in the northern area as compared to the southern area, so there's a difference. There's a difference because in northern area you'll find more porous and more fine soil. The season, obviously, if it is a rainy season, you don't have to give much water. If it is the summer season, you have to give a lot of water. It is going to evaporate also. So these are the factors that is really very important. So irrigation, this is really very important step for the plant. We have to give water. Now, if a question come in your paper that why irrigation is important, you can write these points. That plant itself is having 90% water and it needed for growth and development. Reason being, from the roots of the plant, when we are giving water, water will be absorbed, and with the water, minerals and fertilizer, they are also absorbed. If you remember, into the plant, there is xylem and phloem for the transport. Mainly for the water, there is xylem only, and with the water, minerals and fertilizer, they mixed up into the soil, and they also move. Clear? Nutrient, they dissolve in water, which get transported to different part of the plant. Water protect the crop from frost and hotter ground because it's maintaining the temperature. So is it clear? And one more thing that you can, I did not mention that germination point. Any seed will be there. It will be absorbing water, will show the reaction, will show some, you may say photosynthesis at a high rate. It will start forming the food for themselves. And that's why, and that's how germination happens. So water is necessary. These points clearly you can write into the need of irrigation if that question come, or you may say if that question come that you have to write the importance of irrigation. There also you can cover this point. I hope this point is clear to you. The next thing that we have to cover is methods of irrigation. Irrigation that is done by different ways. Yes, in all of the step, guys, that whatever we used to cover, there used to be one traditional, there used to be one modern method. So let's take a look over the traditional. But first of all, these are all the sources of water. I don't have to mention all river, pond, water storage. I don't have to mention these examples, right? You can see that. Tube well, another well. These are all example, well, tube well, a little pond. Is it clear? Okay. Otherwise, no one is going to ask this question, at least in the paper. What are the sources of irrigation water? Okay. Methods of irrigation. So it has traditional and modern method. Into the traditional one, all four methods are there. Pulley system, Moet, chain pump, Dekli, and Rehed. Fine. This question can come as an MCQ. If in your school or otherwise also you have to give entrance exam, which one of the following is traditional one? Really important. So Moet is like a pulley system. It's like with the chain. It's not a chain actually. It's like a rope-like structure. You're just pulling it up, and water is coming from the well. Chain pump is literally having a pump, but that pump is not very much water pump that we use nowadays. Not electrical. That's a manual one, which is working internally and externally. It just this rotating thing is moving up with the help of animal or a chain, and it's just extracting all the water. Daily is the one which is having the weight. It'll be taking the water out. And what I believe, according to the traditional rahat, is we call it as rahat in Hindi, but yeah. So this liver system is because animal is moving there, and this is connected to this pump which is moving, and this is extracting all the water from the water table. So these are all the traditional method, and I suppose that's clear to you. Now let's talk about the modern method. Modern method of irrigation, very very important. Into the modern method, we used to learn the drip. Very important they are because they're very easy and they're very important. I'm telling it third time. Drip irrigation and sprinkler irrigation. I'm pretty sure you know this already. It's not very difficult. Drip irrigation is drip, 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 drip. You take a pipe, you make holes in it, and then a long pipe is there throughout the crop. It is spread in that direction in this way that the pores of the drip, you may say pores of the pipe, it's directly in contact with the roots of the plant. The plant you're growing like this, and then pipe is moving like this. So they are side by side, they are present, and there is no wastage of water. I'm going to show you a video of this, don't worry. Sprinkler is like at the center, water is there and water is moving at so much pressure that it is sprinkling water all over the place. Simple. Okay. So there's a video for the sprinkler system. Let's have a discussion on that. Can I write it in here? Yeah, I can. Let me show you video, then I'll come back to this screen. Give me a second, guys. There is a problem with the. I opened OneNote in my system. Why it's not visible? Give me a second. Huh? Give me a second. I have to stop the screen share. Open to hai. Okay. Let me share my screen again. I hope that will be visible now. Yeah. It was not being shown in the list. Now you see this video, guys. This is sprinkler system. There. Chal ja. That's going to play. So sprinkler system is just present at the center. You see now it's like directly just giving the water. You see at so much pressure. And the sprinkler, this one now, this will be present at particular distance. It's not like only one. At one distance, then one, then one. It's with high pressure. It's connected to the motor. This is just throwing water in all the direction. So every sprinkler one is covering a particular area. And then there's another one that's how they're managed. Now the next one is drip irrigation that I have explained you already. Let me show you here. So drip irrigation, as you see, this is directly going into the roots. Let the video play till the time you can just, nothing, just see that. I'm gonna just move the video. Yeah, see. I'm gonna just put it on silent. See, so these are the plants that they're growing, but at the base, are they having, yeah. This is the one. Na? So at the base into the pipe, there are drop by drop water is coming. The best point about it is that there's no wastage of water. It's directly going inside the roots. Test video, it is added in your account. You can watch it up. Let's come back to the presentation thing. Yeah, so if a question come in your paper, guys, what are the advantages of sprinkler system? You may say it covers, I mean, there is an efficient coverage of area from the place where it is being kept. And then this has a wide range of water capacity. Wide range. I hope that's clear to you. It's just that what you have to remember is that it's on high pressure. The water, it is coming on the high pressure. But one negative point, if they are asking, you may say the distribution of the water, it can go uneven. It's not very much even. So this point you can add. Okay. And water distribution can go uneven, but that depends. Actually, this is the water distribution I'm talking about. Suppose I'm telling soil is uneven. That's another thing. Soil is uneven, at that time irrigation will be difficult. So their drip irrigation is really very important. Sorry, the sprinkler one is really very important because it'll be difficult for us to manage it on the uneven land. So we are just doing it with the help of sprinkler. So these are the points that you can write down, and we are done with the sprinkler system. Now let me tell you a few points about the drip irrigation if that question come in your paper. So if a drip irrigation question come in your paper, that what are the advantages of this? What you can write with a different color. Blue one. Okay. So into that, you may say this is saving water. Most important point. It saves water. Then you can say it avoids random watering of plant. So it avoids random watering of plants. So the next one, this is improving water holding capacity of the soil. It improves water holding capacity soil. So I suppose now this point is really very important. This is very easy. And I suppose drip irrigation and sprinkler and all about the type of irrigation, that's very clear to you. Let's move forward. Now guys, this question can for sure come into your paper regarding what are the harmful effect of over irrigation. If we give too much water to the plant, what negative impact can be there. So first is waterlogged field. Waterlogged means there is so much of the water, falling of crop might happen. So that's waterlogged. Seeds do not germinate properly because they're hitting too much of the water. Seeds not only need water, they need the oxygen, they need little space, they need sunlight. That's all water there. They're not going to germinate. They're going to harm. Roots do not grow properly. That's so true. They will not get enough space. Roots grow inside the air spaces through the soil. You just try to move in that direction. They're not having no space. It's just water everywhere. It's not going to grow. Water evaporates more, which leads to accumulation of the salt. Now imagine over irrigation has been done. Obviously, all the fertilizer, all the fertilizer, it is going to be on the layer, up above the layer of the water. And then water is going to evaporate and it will settle on the surface of the soil. Not good. It damages soil fertility because in soil, all nutrient will be above, or probably they might drain, or by evaporation, if they are present as a salt upside down, it will not be absorbed much by the plant. It is going to be harmful for the microorganism who is residing on the surface itself. My point is clear? Clear. Roots do not go deep in the soil and hence plants are not able to, that's what I was saying, able to anchor. So you may say that water holding capacity also reduces because then it's water everywhere. Then soil, the arrangement of the soil is damaged. So yeah. So these are the point, guys, that you can just write, and simply you can say that plant also needs space to breathe. Even the roots, that will not be there. So these are the points that you can just write. I suppose that's clear to you. Now, if this question come as a 5 marks question in a paper, you can just write it. I hope that's clear. Let's move forward. So the next one, what this picture is. That's clear. Leave it. Now the next thing. Okay, dear farmer, if you're listening to me, next step we have to go through is the crop protection. Our crop is ready. We have given water to the plant. Now our crop is so beautifully growing. It's green little plantlet and then getting mature. During this time, we have to protect the crop. Now, point is how we have to protect the crop. From which thing we have to protect the crop? Obviously, there are weeds. There can be certain damaging animals. We have to cover that proper area from the animal so that no overeating, no grazing is done. I mean, grazing should be done, but at a particular place only. So, the first point that we have to talk about is weeds. Weeds, they are defined as the unwanted plant. Suppose I am growing rice crop, and with the rice crop, mustard, or you may say not mustard, any XYZ crop is growing. Like with the wheat, with the rice, some little wheat is growing. Right now, I don't want wheat. That's a weed to the main crop. So, wheat, I was saying, not the wheat. So, weed is unwanted plant. Even if is useful for us, but at that point of time, this is competing with my main crop. So, this is unwanted plant. But obviously, they're completely unwanted, or you may say, I'll just give you an example. They are the unwanted plant which compete with the main crop for water, for sunlight, for soil, for space, for nutrient, for everything. Is that clear, guys? Now let me give you examples of the weeds. Examples of the weeds are Parthenium, Xanthium, give me a second. Yeah, and common weeds can also be there. There is Congress grass also, Amaranthus. So these are all the plant. Actually, now these weeds are the actual weeds, which are none of any use. They're harmful to the plant in every way. Even if I do not, I just grow it at other place, that's also. Like suppose I'm saying I'm growing X crop and Y crop, but Y crop I don't need. That is also competing with the main crop. At that time, that is a weed. But otherwise, these are the ones that's not anyhow are good. They are the actual weeds, Parthenium, Xanthium, Congress. These are some example and some other weeds. They compete with the main crop. They are harmful. So because they are competing, our main crop will be getting lesser nutrient. Our main crop will be getting lesser sunlight, lesser nutrient, lesser everything. So that is the production, the yield is going to be hampered. So we have to protect the plant. We have to protect the crop from the weeds. Why is weeding necessary? I have explained you everything about it. It's the competition thing. You can just explain that. Why is weeding necessary? If that question comes as a 2 marks question in a paper, you just write it. It's just the competition for everything. That's it. Now, weeding. Weeding is the process of removing weeds. How do farmers remove weeds? Let's have a discussion on that. So the first point itself is written chemicals. These are the weedicides. 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, naphthalate acid, and atrazine. Let me tell you guys, there are many methods of removing the weeds. So one is this, the chemicals. They are obviously going to butachlor is also there. Let me just write few more examples. Butachlor is also there. Benthiocharb is also there. It's buta-CH chlor and benthio carb. These are the chemicals they're going to destroy. If a question comes in your paper that how come weedicide is not good, weedicide is actually killing the weeds, but that is also harmful to us who is spraying it. If you have seen person who is spraying the weeds, they used to cover their face up and then they spray. So that is not good for us. And even it is not good for the insect or nearby animals which are eating upon them or the microorganisms. Weedicides cause biomagnification. I've explained you in the last one. Anyways, now, what are the methods? One method is this. Second, you may say that this can also be removed manually with the hands by plucking with the hands. Second, we can use trowel. Trowel. Trowel means khurpi. Khurpi ऐसे होता है, shape like this. You just put it in the soil like this. You just cut like this way. So these things, these are the things. So the point is that proper ploughing, yeah, you can say proper ploughing should be done. And this is the area that is cursed. Proper ploughing. Acha, one more method you can write, guys, that to protect our crop from any kind of weed, we should go for the cropping pattern. Cropping pattern like crop rotation, intercropping, mixed cropping, because this is the one that reduces the growth of the weeds. Reason being, they are busy in itself in recycling of the nutrient. They will not let allow the growth of other crop wheat. So these are the points that you can mention: using weedicide, using manually with the help of hand by plucking it up, trowel, cutting the soil and the weeds. Proper ploughing should be done, and then you can say ploughing is done with the plough, hoe, and sickle is also there for cutting it up, and then cropping pattern should be followed. And yeah, so these are the point. And if this question comes as a 5 marks question, I'm pretty sure that you can just write it. Okay, so now the next one. We have given water to the crop. We are protecting the crop throughout the time it is growing. Now the crop is ready. Let's cut the crop. So the steps include harvesting, threshing, and winnowing. The first point that we have to understand is threshing. Guys, threshing is actually the normal cutting. We're just cutting the crop, cut, 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 cut. Why am I using the word threshing, by the way? Harvesting. Oh God, I take my words back. Harvesting. Harvesting is just cutting of the crop after it matures. We just cut it like harvesting. This is the process of cutting and gathering the food crop. That's the definition I'm telling you. Okay. Harvesting, this is done by many of the method. Traditional, harvester, and combined. Guys, cutting with hand is too much traditional that we don't even think about it. But the, sorry for the spelling mistake of traditional. It's the, okay. So the traditional method that includes sickle. Sickle होता है ना ऐसे shape का? The one that is used in many of the South Indian and Bollywood movies for, the Gunda type of movie they're used to. Okay, anyways. So this is the sickle through which they are just cutting. So sickle, it used to be having the wooden handle and then a sickle shape like a blade, which is very tight and fixed with the wooden thing. It's very, what do we say? Strong and very bladed and very thin for cutting the edges. So that is the one that is used. Now the second one is the harvester. We also call it as forage harvester. Actually, forage harvester, this used to be used with the help of a tractor. They are using actually cutting the crop and just collecting it. Yeah, actually, now into the tractor, this is just moving it up. Into this picture, now there is just moving thing is already there. It just you need some vehicle to carry it up forward. That's it. So we mainly use tractor, but this is the one that is also there, which is having a motor, which is running it up. A person will be standing or moving it up there. So anyways, here this is normally cutting it up and just collecting it. Guys, there are 2-3 things. First, we cut the crop, and then into the crop there are seeds. There are the actual thing that we want. So we separate that up from the crop. We cut the crop, we separate the seeds and up from the crop, and then we clean it up in a proper way. कि पहले थोड़ा सा साफ किया, so we are just cleaning it up at a very high, you may say, coarse level, and then we clean it at a fine level, that way you may say. So first step is harvesting, cutting it. The coarse cleaning is threshing, and the fine cleaning is winnowing, where even the little things they're cleaned from the crop. Getting my point? It's okay, I'll explain it again. Now what point I was trying to say, for harvesting, winnowing and threshing, we have separate machines. But nowadays there's just one machine which is known as combine, which is there, which is the latest one. Maximum almost 100% people, you may say 90+%, because there are just few people still use different machine for different steps. But then this combine is the one which is the latest one. This machine, this is used to harvest the crop and the grain. It also performs cutting, threshing. Other than harvesting, it also performs cutting, threshing, and winnowing, separating and cleaning. Okay, so this is the one that we are using. Combine is the most usable one, and this is doing maximum operation, maximum work in the field. This is really very important. So harvester is just a separate machine which is doing only harvesting work, cutting the crop and that's it, collecting it into the chamber. Combine is the one which is doing all the steps together. So the combined one you can just explain in all of the steps, harvesting, threshing and winnowing also. You will see it up there, guys. Let's see. The next step is the threshing and winnowing itself. So threshing is harvesting and separating chaff from the grain. So this is the chaff. So this is the actual grain he is separating and this is the chaff. He's trying to separate it from the grain. So this is the traditional method that is being done. Just manually, putting it up. And second one is harvester. So here they used to put the crop and it is used to, churn it up internally and just separating the grain. And this is the combine which is doing all the actions together. So this is clear. So obviously, combine is the best. Combine is actually the combine harvester and the thresher, that thing. So comparatively, if a question comes that what are the harmful, not harmful, I mean demerits or the disadvantages of using traditional harvester, it's time consuming. And into the harvester, only one stepping is done. And here this is too much labor and time consuming. One step and here all the steps together. That's it. Now the next one is winnowing. I have written winnowing with it, but winnowing is done at a fine level. So next is the winnowing. The husk from the seeds by blowing air through it. You must have seen your parents, your mom actually cleaning it in the kitchen, whoever is making the food, the rice, if they are having pulses or rice, they take it in the plate, they move it like this when they're cleaning it up, if you're getting my point, and then they blow it up because all the dust and everything is going to be away. This is actually winnowing. This woman is doing winnowing thing, so she is throwing it up by doing this thing, and then all the grain are going to be separate and all the husk is also going to be separate. It is done mainly into the air when wind is blowing, because that is going to take the husk. So this is the traditional method, and modern method I don't have to explain now. So I suppose that is clear to you. So the machine is known as winnower. Acha, we have a winnower also, no? Not there in the diagram. There is a separating machine also. It is known as winnower. I mean, traditional method and into the modern method combine, and winnower is there. Let me show you winnower. As I mentioned it now, I'm going to stop my screen share. I'm going to show you the winnower. I should just delete all the temporary files. My system gets slow. I don't realize it. During the time when I record my video, na, I just started. Acha, I'm gonna just show you the picture for the winnower. Actually, I didn't mention it. Like nowadays, shopping malls are there, na, agro malls are also there. Agro mall have all the agro products. These machines, seeds, and everything is available in the agro malls. I am adding it into the presentation itself. Now I'm gonna decrease the size of this woman. I need space. So these are different machines and different companies are there. So into these agro malls, these people are going to contact and these people are going to sell their products. So different company machines. So like we choose the clothes, we have to choose, a farmer has to choose this thing as well. Okay, so where is the presentation thing? So I suppose this is there. It's handed. Okay, this is the one which is a winnower. It's like, at the fine level, this is cleaning it up. So guys, this is about the winnowing step. Now let's move forward. Let's talk about the storage thing. The most important thing, this is the storage one, where we are storing the crop. We have cut the crop, we have done winnowing, we have just separated the grain from the chaff, from the husk. It's clean. Now we have to store it up. Guys, let's talk it from the very simple level. From the very simple level, our mother is storing. Now I am the mother, so I am also storing at my home. But your mother is also storing pulses, rice, wheat if it is there. How they are storing it? Just check it out. Take a look at it. They add something to it. They add some neem leaves or probably certain medicines or those stuff. These are added, and they are properly clean and properly stored up. Whenever they store, they make it very clean, very dry. They put it in the sunlight and then they do it. What if we store it at a high level? So there are great silos as you see it on the screen. There are great places where we do the storage work. So how storage is done and what are the point that we have to do? Because we have put a lot of effort during the time when we started growing the crop. Our crop is ready. We are cutting it up. Storage is ultimately the most important one because if this thing is not done, our crop is going to be damaged. At this point of time, we don't like it. So this is the most important stage. So first of all, if we are having a crop, we have to put it sunlight in sunshine before we store it up so that there is no moisture, no humidity present in it. And then crops are sun dried, you may say, and then wherever, so we are removing the moisture content. Let me just write it up now. Moisture content removed. And then the farmers, they used to store it in the metal bin and the jute bag or in the silos. You know what? Like suppose you're a farmer, you have grown a lot of crop. You are going to sell it to the grain market. There is a grain market also. FCI, known as Food Corporation of India, this is the one which is coordinating body. They are the one which is purchasing the crop from the farmer and they are utilizing it. Okay, so this is the one. So this can be done throughout the country, throughout the year, and they have big go downs. The FCI, this is the organization, it is having big go downs where this is being stored. Now, guys, if a question come in your paper that what are the precautions while you're storing the crop that should be done, so what you will be writing? Let's have a discussion on that. Precautions to be taken during storage of food grain. I should have made this picture smaller. It's okay. I'll write up there. So basically, first, well-dried seed should be stored because there's a thing which is known as viability. Viability means able to grow. The viability of the seed is going to be hampered because of the moisture and the water vapor thing in it. So anyways, there should be, wherever we are storing, that place space should be moisture free and well dried. And there should be a particular temperature itself. Okay. So the next one should be, if we are storing it in a big chamber, they should be sealed and airtight. And we prefer to keep it in a cool and dark place. Because if it is the sunlight also, these are temperature sunlight. These are also the factor that during the time when they are needed, but when they are not needed, they can also help in the growth of certain microorganisms. So we keep it at a cool and dry place. Cool as in it should not have water. It should not have moisture. Cool as in a proper normal temperature. Okay, we can use certain pesticides also if there are certain pests. There is a thing which is known as rodenticide. Let me just write there. This is a nice place to write. Rodenticide. Rodent means all the chuha, all the rats and these things. They are known as rodents. So rodenticide chemicals are also there. Though chemical nowadays we do not prefer, but these are the one that is used before storing it in a chamber. You have to clean it up properly. You have to make it dry. You have to spray some chemical like pesticides and rodenticides so that no overgrowth, no rats and every growth should be there. Okay, so now few more things are done. Let me just change the pen color now. Few more thing is done. There is a thing which is known as lime. So with the seeds, lime is also stored. Seed plus lime is also stored. So lime has an insect repellent property. Insect repellent. I'm so struggling to write here. Property. Insect repellent property. Please understand this thing, guys. Okay. So anyways, other than lime, we can use wood ash also. Wood ash also has the same. I'm just writing that there. Wood. Is it a wood? Wood ash. So sorry. Okay. Now the point is that if the seeds are in big quantities, we store it in the silos. That picture just before it I show you there, and there are big granaries where we store it, and they are above the ground. And yeah, actually one more point you can also say that one I was mentioning at home we use neem leaves also for protecting it up. So that also you can just write neem leaves and neem oil leaves oil. Yeah, neem. Guys, I'll just press and escape, and then I make the presentation again. The writing is very worse. Stop the screen share now. Let me see if it is working fine now. Better. Neem leaves and wood ash. Even oil is also used. You know what my mother used to do for storing the rice? Sometimes she used turmeric also. She just used a little turmeric, to mix it in the rice, and then she puts it up. So these are the few points that we can follow, and this is how we have to do storage on small scale and at a large scale. I have written it in a very spread manner, but you can make 5, 10, 7, 8 point out of it, and you can just write it as a 5 marks question. Okay. So many students get confused at this point again. You have to understand this point, read it up, watch the video again, pause it up, go back. Very easy. Let's move forward. I suppose that's the last topic, green revolution. Green revolution means I don't have to mention when we were like, little kids, we have been learning about green revolution, just the growth of the crop. Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri, the second Prime Minister of India, remember it. He started the green revolution with the slogan Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Okay, growing crop. There are many kind of revolution otherwise. Uh, Silver revolution is for eggs. uh, White revolution is for milk, yellow revolution is for oil. So there are different kind of revolution you can go for. Blue is for water. So anyways, the revolution is like since last 30 years we have started. um Before 30 year, I suppose the population of India was 65 crore. Yeah, in 1980s, I suppose. I'm not from 1980s, I just know the data. Now at this point of time, this is more than double. Oh my God. It's nearby double, more than double. There are many people who are from outside India residing there. So it doesn't mean just a simple count. There are people who are living without ID also. So I just calculate the population always more. So that's why green revolution is so important, because we have to feed all the people. That's what. So why it is green? Because to make place green, to grow the crop, to make country green again, that's the reason. So to have a proper stock of the food, to have proper stock of the eatables thing, whatever we need, that's why. That's what green revolution is. Now, guys, we started this work, like I'm saying, since 30 years, and what we have achieved so far, we have increased the crop yield per hectare. Obviously we are going for all the biotechnological thing, the hybrid thing, but we are working on this. We are increasing overall crop production, commercialization of the agriculture, that we are just in contact with other places, other country. We are just doing import and export whatever thing is required, like onion. We are exporting salt also, or we are taking salt. So these are the things we are doing. Increase spices, and we are importing many of the dry fruits also. So increased use of fertilizer and insecticide, increase in irrigation facilities, less dependence on monsoon, multiple crop program, rural electrification. I do not think that any of the single point you will not understand from this list. These are the achievement I have seen it. I'm not from 1980s, from the 90s. The point is that I have seen these things being happening. Clear? I have seen this thing, the growth is happening. Okay, so I suppose now these points are clear to you. Let me see if we have certain question. If you have any doubt, you know what you have to do. Watering the crop is known as, why did I add this question? I'm not saying anything. Combines are used for? Yeah, you know the answer. Separating grains from the chaff is known as? From the husk and from the chaff is a different thing. Threshing, winnowing. Grain from the chaff. Hold on. Why did they? I was expecting they would give just another answer. I am sorry, guys. I take my words back. This is not the answer. Threshing is the answer. Okay, guys. So with this, we are done with the practice. We are done. Yeah, I selected the wrong question too. We are done with few topics up to how do we store the crop, how green revolution is there. I do not think very important points are left in this chapter, but still I'll see you up in the next part of the chapter and we'll learn something extra. Point is that I suppose everything is clear. And if you have any doubt, just you know what you have to do. Just put your doubts there and answers are going to be there. I'm going to stop my screen. I'm going to show my face up there. So bye-bye. Take care. Have a nice time. And I'll see you in the next part.